So kia ora, these are our Rataka 2020, so these are daily planners.
Yep.
And just a bit of info about the covers. So these ones were done in fabric, gold fabric, and this is faux leather. And obviously, as you can see, it's why we chose it to be quite gold is because it was because the Rataka is based on the sun, on the tamanui te rā. So we thought, oh well, then obviously these ones are going to be gold.
And sparkle that up.
Yeah, so that's why we had a gold option and a black option, and we were absolutely surprised at how popular the gold option was. So this is a Rataka that's the year planner 2020. You'll see that we have Rako Nui full moon and Whiro new moon marked in the days. So you can see over the year, and just as we've mentioned before in our earlier videos, we've gone back to the loan words of the months, because these months are actually based on the Gregorian calendar.
Yep. So we still have the dates, the Gregorian ones at the bottom.
Yeah.
And we've kind of followed like how you normally would follow around karakia first, have a kōrero. We've used that to really guide how we laid out the rataka.
Yeah, because people ask sort of like what was the sequence, what was the thinking behind how we laid it out, and that's how we did it. We thought if you were on a marae or something, and in any kind of formal setting, that's what you would start as. You would have your karakia first, and then you'd have your mihi kōrero, and then you'd actually get into your kaupapa, and so that's how we laid it out. So some general karakia, and we've got them in both te reo Māori and English. So good for people if you are just learning te reo Māori, so that you can have some, always handy to have some opening and closing prayers for
when you're at work at mahi, they give you the
different hui, and you have to do karakia. There's some simple ones that you can follow there.
Yep.
And then on our greetings page, we just thought we would go with some common greetings, especially for people who are just learning. So if you're wanting to include them in messages or greetings to whānau or anything like that, so we've got some, I guess sort of like modern ones in terms of, how to say Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day, things like that. Some things that people could just use day to day.
And surprise! You've probably never seen this before. But again, our maramataka layout starting at whiro. But one of the things too, if you haven't noticed, we always have our maramataka Māori at the front, and then we have the Gregorian once we come to the inside pages. So again, you can fill it out yourself, and because you get a reference guide too, you can use the Te Whanapanui one as well.
Our maramataka guide sheet that we give out as a handout with all the products that we create, we've included it within the Rataka itself, so you'll always have it in case you ever lose your handout that we send out, which lots of people do.
They so do.
Alright, and then we've just basically got the previous year, the current year that we're in, and then the year ahead. So you've always got that reference, and same with how we did our year layout, we always mark out the Whiro and Rako Nui.
What was the features that we had that we really wanted to focus on was having the dates that are important to us with Te Ao Māori. And this is, again, we've said it's down at the bottom. It was a starting place to be able to record and find those dates that are of significance. And we think that next year's one, because yes, there's a next year one, will be even bigger.
Yeah.
Because we're actively collecting dates, and there's some really great things. It does have a number of the land walls, but we're also aware that there's some great stuff out there too.
So if you do have any suggestions, please send them through to us. We love, so that it'll go into our future ones. And what we've found since we released these, the Rataka, is actually, this has been one of our most favourite pages that people have loved.
Posted and loved the most.
Yeah, so that was good, because that's what we wanted to always remind, because you often when you buy diaries, it'll always have these dates, so your public holidays and your school holidays and everything has been the sort of the most important dates, but as we know from Māori, there's lots of other dates that are huge significance to us, so we wanted to include those so people knew.
But it's still really good to know public holidays
and school holidays.
And school holidays, because that counts. It so counts.
And when do they go back?
Like, yeah, seriously, when? But this is, we've had some feedback too about potentially having the dates included for our Australian whānau, Australia. So we love the feedback that comes back on these as well.
Helps us to design the future ones.
Another new page you've never potentially seen. But if this is your first Rataka or your first book that you bought from us, then this is one of our key features that we've had.
Yeah, and all of our book that we create is we always encourage people to reflect. So always look back on the year that was and what were your highlights and learnings, and then move into actually setting your goals for the year.